Torch from file. Description. The torch from file function is used to create a ptorch tensor from a file containing raw data. This is particularly useful for loading data directly from disk, bypassing the need for intermediate data structures like lists or NumPy arrays. Inputs. File path. This is the path to the file containing the raw data. It can be a local file path or a path to a file stored in a remote location. Dtype. This argument specifies the data type of the tensor to be created. By default, the data type is inferred from the file content. Size. This argument specifies the shape of the tensor to be created. It should match the shape of the data in the file. Offset. This argument specifies the byte offset from the start of the file where data reading should begin. It is useful when you only need to read a specific portion of the file. Shared. This argument specifies whether the data loaded from the file should be shared between multiple processes. This is useful for distributed training. Non-blocking. This argument specifies whether data loading should be performed asynchronously. This is useful for optimizing performance when loading large files. Outputs. Tensor. This is a ptorch tensor created from the data in the file. Steps. The torch from file function first opens the specified file. It then reads the raw data from the file starting at the specified offset. The function then interprets the raw data based on the specified data type and creates a ptorch tensor with the specified size. Finally, the function returns the created tensor. Challenges and fixes. Challenge 1. Incorrect file path or file not found. Sample use case that resulted in challenge 1. Providing an invalid file path or attempting to access a non-existent file. Fixes to challenge 1. Double-check the file path for typos and ensure the file exists in the specified location. Challenge 2. Data type mismatch. Sample use case that resulted in challenge 2. The data in the file is not in the format expected by the specified data type. Fixes to challenge 2. Verify that the data in the file is stored in the correct format. Ensure that the specified data type matches the actual data format in the file. Challenge 3. Incorrect tensor size. Sample use case that resulted in challenge 3. Providing an incorrect tensor size that does not match the size of the data in the file. Fixes to challenge 3. Determine the correct tensor size by analyzing the data in the file. Ensure that the specified tensor size matches the actual size of the data in the file. Challenge 4. Data loading performance. Sample use case that resulted in challenge 4. Loading large files can result in slow data loading times. Fixes to challenge 4. Consider using the non-blocking argument to enable asynchronous data loading. Explore using techniques like data prefetching or using a faster storage device. Challenge 5. Shared memory usage. Sample use case that resulted in challenge 5. Improper handling of shared memory can lead to data corruption or performance issues. Fixes to challenge 5. Ensure that shared memory is used correctly, especially in multi-process environments. Use the shared argument carefully to avoid potential issues. Torch from NumPy. Description. The torch from NumPy function is a crucial tool for seamlessly bridging the gap between NumPy arrays and ptorch tensors. It enables you to convert existing NumPy arrays into ptorch tensors without creating a copy of the underlying data. This direct conversion maintains the same memory location, which is highly beneficial for performance optimization. Inputs. Input 1. NumPy array. This is the primary input. A NumPy array containing numerical data that you wish to transform into a ptorch tensor. Outputs. Output 1. Tensor. A ptorch tensor that represents the same data as the input NumPy array. The tensor shares the underlying memory with the NumPy array, ensuring efficiency. Steps. Step 1, direct conversion. The torch from NumPy function takes the NumPy array as input and directly creates a ptorch tensor that points to the same memory location. This ensures that changes made to the tensor are reflected in the original NumPy array and vice versa. Challenges and fixes. Challenge 1, data type mismatches. If the input NumPy array contains data types that ptorch doesn't support directly, e.g., complex numbers, the conversion may lead to unexpected behavior or errors. Sample use case: you might encounter issues if the NumPy array contains complex numbers and you attempt to convert it into a ptorch tensor without specifying the appropriate data type. Fixes: specify the desired data type using the dtype argument in torch from NumPy. For example, to convert the NumPy array of complex numbers to a ptorch tensor of complex numbers, you would use torch from NumPy array. dtype torch complex 64. Challenge 2, memory management. Due to the shared memory, modifications to the original NumPy array will impact the ptorch tensor, and vice versa. This can be problematic if you need independent copies. Sample use case: you might inadvertently modify the original NumPy array when working with a derived ptorch tensor, leading to unintended consequences. Fixes: use the tensor clone method to create a separate copy of the ptorch tensor. This ensures that changes to the copy won't affect the original NumPy array. Torch from dlpack. Description. The torch from dlpack function converts a dlpack data layout pack object into a ptorch tensor. dlpack is a standardized data interchange format that allows data to be shared between different frameworks and libraries without needing to copy the underlying data. This enables efficient data transfer and avoids unnecessary data serialization and deserialization. Inputs. dlpack. This is the dlpack object containing the data to be converted into a ptorch tensor. The dlpack object can be created from various sources, including libraries like NumPy, MXNet, and TensorFlow. Outputs. Tensor: a ptorch tensor containing the data from the dlpack object. The tensor will have the same shape, data type, and device as the dlpack object. Steps. The torch from dlpack function first checks if the provided dlpack object is valid and conforms to the dlpack specification. It then extracts the data from the dlpack object and creates a ptorch tensor with the same data, shape, data type, and device. Challenges and fixes. Challenge 1, incorrect data type or shape. The dlpack object might have a different data type or shape than expected. Sample use case that resulted in challenge 1: a dlpack object with integer data is passed to torch from dlpack, but the expected data type in ptorch is floating point. Fixes to challenge 1: ensure that the data type and shape of the dlpack object match the expected data type and shape in ptorch. If necessary, manually convert the data type or reshape the data before creating the dlpack object. Challenge 2: unsupported device. The dlpack object might be on a device that is not supported by ptorch. Sample use case that resulted in challenge 2: a dlpack object is created on a specific GPU, but ptorch is not configured to use that GPU. Fixes to challenge 2: ensure that the ptorch environment is configured to use the same device as the dlpack object. This might involve setting the appropriate environment variables or configuring the ptorch device manually. Challenge 3: data sharing between processes. Sharing dlpack objects between different processes can result in issues if the processes are not properly synchronized. Sample use case that resulted in challenge 3: one process creates a DL-Pack object, and another process attempts to access and modify it simultaneously. Fixes to challenge 3: use appropriate synchronization mechanisms, e.g., locks or semaphores, to ensure that the data is accessed and modified in a safe and controlled manner. Challenge 4: data corruption if the DL-Pack object is corrupted or invalid. The torch from DL-Pack function might raise an exception or produce unexpected results. Sample use case that resulted in challenge 4: the DL-Pack object is created with incorrect parameters or data, leading to data corruption. Fixes to challenge 4: carefully validate the DL-Pack object before passing it to torch from DL-Pack. Check for any errors or inconsistencies in the data, shape, or data type. Torch from buffer. Description: the torch from buffer function creates a tensor from a buffer of raw bytes. It allows you to construct tensors from data sources that provide raw byte sequences, such as files, network streams, or memory buffers. Inputs. Buffer: this is the input buffer that contains the raw byte data from which the tensor will be created. This could be a byte string, bytes in Python, a byte array in Python, or any object that supports the buffer protocol. D-type optional: this argument specifies the data type of the elements in the resulting tensor. If not provided, it defaults to torch uint8. You can use common data types like torch, float32, torch.int64, etc. Count optional: this argument specifies the number of elements to read from the buffer. If not provided, it reads the entire buffer. Offset optional: this argument specifies the starting position in bytes from where to start reading data from the buffer. This is useful if you want to skip a certain number of bytes at the beginning of the buffer. Outputs. Tensor: the function returns a ptorch tensor with the specified data type, containing the values extracted from the input buffer. The shape of the tensor is determined by the provided count argument, and if not provided, it will have the length of the buffer divided by the size of the specified data type. Steps. The function reads the raw byte data from the provided buffer, starting at the specified offset. It interprets the bytes according to the specified data type D-type and creates a tensor with the corresponding elements. The resulting tensor will have the shape determined by the provided count argument or will be a one-dimensional tensor with the length of the buffer divided by the size of the specified data type. Challenges and fixes. Challenge 1: reading data beyond the buffer's end. Sample use case that resulted in challenge 1: providing a count argument that exceeds the actual number of bytes available in the buffer. Fixes to challenge 1: ensure the count argument is less than or equal to the number of bytes available in the buffer. Challenge 2: incorrect data type specification. Sample use case that resulted in challenge 2: specifying a data type that does not match the actual data in the buffer. Fixes to challenge 2: verify that the D-type argument aligns with the format of the data stored in the buffer. Use the appropriate data type based on the expected data representation. Challenge 3: inconsistent byte order. Sample use case that resulted in challenge 2: providing a buffer with data stored in a different byte order than the system's default. Fixes to challenge 2: ensure the byte order of the data in the buffer matches the system's default or explicitly specify the byte order using the torch byte tensor constructor. For example, for a network byte order, you might use torch byte tensor data toad type view.